Hey Formula One community, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm here to give you a race review of the finale. And as you all know, the finale is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and I am very excited about giving you the race review of this Grand Prix because as we all know, this Grand Prix was epic, and you know that the adrenaline was pumping for Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen as they were tied with points of 369.5. They were both with the same points and they were going into the last race. So for them, it was like do or die. Whoever got the best position was the winner of the championship of 2021. So now, in the first lap, we know that Lewis Hamilton took over the lead, having a better start than Max Verstappen. But then in turn 5 of the first lap, we saw Max Verstappen going into the chicane way too deep, and Lewis Hamilton just cutting the corner and going ahead. For in my expectations, that should have been like a penalty, but the FIA thought and the stewards thought that all the profit he had made from making that move, he had given it all away. So they had a little talk. Red Bull had a little talk with the FIA, and they told why Hamilton should get a penalty, but you know they lost it anyways. But then good times came a little as Verstappen was closing in the middle sectors of the lap, in around lap 30 or lap 40, and he was around 13 seconds behind. And then on the last 10 to 5 laps, we saw Nicholas Latifi crash in the barriers, where Kimi Raikkonen has crashed in the practice session, the practice number 2, and that is where he crashed. So then we had seen a safety car, and many people didn't think that the race would start, but then suddenly the FIA said that we are good to go, and in the last lap everybody was ready to have a final lap for this race. And as we all know, Verstappen won it. So there were a lot of doubts coming from the viewers that how could he be 13 seconds behind and then pit and then just be 0 seconds behind. I'll give you the answer. That is because in the safety car, you need to close in the gap, and you need to close in the gap so that when you start the race, everybody has a fair advantage, as if the person in first place can see the green flag earlier, so he'll just pull over, so then the extra 10 seconds will go away, so he'll be 23 seconds behind. So that is not entirely fair. And Verstappen had pitted for softs, and now we are not going to see the 13-inch tires. Now there are 22 inches. The tires are actually faster, and they're actually not faster, but they're actually better. They're reliable, more reliable than this year's tires and the last year's tires, and the so on sequence. So these, now FIA has been doing a good job in order to make this sport environmental friendly sport, and we all know that in the next season or in the future, electric F1 is not going to be electric. That is because they already have an electric platform, which is Formula E. Their races are also great. They have a race in New York, they have sometimes in London, and some other states and countries, and some other continents as well. So they are actually trying to make more greener fuel, which is great for the environment, and they can race with the fuel. So as we all know that in the podium places, first was Verstappen, second was Hamilton, and third was some other driver from, I think it was Carlos Sainz. He was Carlos Sainz, last podium, and he came P5 in the championship, in the drivers' championship. So Verstappen won the championship by around 8 points, as he also had the fastest lap, so you get an extra point for that. Honestly, by my side, I think that 2022 will be a great season, as we have the new wing, like the rear wing, the drag reduction system ring. We have a newer engine which is more reliable, and you also have budget cuts, as we used to have in 2021, that the team could not spend more than $185 to $200 million on the car, even if the car breaks. So they only had this budget, and I think now the budget has been shortened to around $180 to $170 million. So they're just keeping it fair so that every single team which is at the low area, which is at the low point, they can also race. And they don't have such a big budget as Mercedes. They guys have a budget for around 500 to 600 million dollars annually, so they cannot afford that. They only have a budget of 200 or maximum 250 million dollars. So that is why this rule came in place in 2021, so that everything can be fair. So I was actually very disappointed by what McLaren showed this year, because they were the team who came third last year, and now they have gone down a step forward. So now in 2022, Ferrari and McLaren are going to have a big fight, and I believe that in the next year we can have a fight of the championship battle between Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. So that's all my things which I wanted to tell you. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel.